So, you are welcome to another episode of the Anti-Partisans with TWI. This is a very important video. This is a very important because I had a discussion about it with my uncle yesterday on this same very issue. And surprisingly, they chose the same faculty, chemistry. So, the video is about, I think recently, the president made an announcement that they should use the local language to teach in schools. And then somebody asked that how would they use Tree language to teach a subject like chemistry? It is a very important question. Like first of all, you have to understand that language barrier is something that you do not break at once. It withers. You scrape it small. In this issue, I have another very basic, simple, but very important revelation to make. But before that, I want them to say what they want to say. I want to understand so that I can see the context of pretext within which I can land my revelation. As usual, I do not script my videos. This is I think the second time or so of watching this video. The first time I watched, I just glanced through. I just wanted to see if I can use it for my channel. I don't normally script my videos. I just like to do it like all natural, because I believe if I speak from the heart, I think that is where we are right now. I think we have lived through the era of packaging and pretending for way too long. I believe that if I want to see the change that I want to happen, I have to first make it happen. That means I have to envision the change through myself. So I have to put myself through this kind of suffering. Right now, I'm sitting in front of a camera with flashlights as bright as the sun. They are burning my eyes, but I have to do this for the truth. And so, with that, this is the Anti-Partisan. My name is Johnson. Enough of the complaining, and let's go to the video.
Like this education thing, and I know we'll go into the education. So they were like, what do you mean by local, teachers should use L1, which is a mother tongue, as a medium of instruction for early grades. And that, is it everybody who understands the mother tongue? And yet you know that the research has shown that if you are able to use the language a child understands in the early grade to explain simple concepts, they are more grounded in the learning and in the concepts. Then a big journalist goes like, how do you go and teach chemistry in local language?
Oh, it was a journalist that was making the comment.
There is a morning show. That how do you go and teach chemistry in a local language? And that, do we even think through these things? These are not contested matters. To use a language a child understands, to teach the child, are not contested matters. They are established, matters with regards to the right ways of inculcating knowledge. Now, does it mean that every teacher in every school might understand the local language? No. But it is a policy that we must implement. And we must start from somewhere. So start with the teachers that understand the local language in the early grade, and let those teachers use the local language in and it's not like that's what they're going to use alone. They're teaching English, they're teaching other subjects in English. But when you explain a concept in English, you must explain it also in the dominant language that the students or the pupils or the learners in that class also understand. So please, if we really want to build...
So first and foremost, I want to say that from the bottom of my heart, I am very happy that we have women in the country. Like, I'm very happy in the country who are very interested in contributing effectively to the movement of our politics. Like, I am very happy that reality is something that is established. Even though how I have praised them right now, say if I criticize them in a way that would not be appeased, that would not appease the fans, and that be me patch in advance. As I'm making, say if a teacher knows the local dialect. Onfanche and Kwalanati. You see, and when I na class, every lesson be our time idea. There's a reason why I establish a common language, which is English. And a teacher, saying back class, he doesn't have to worry. Say, row we say it French, row we say it TWI, and a row we say it you can't say Lebanese. Me can't same subjects now. Me no lesson now. Me we say we in English. Same class now. Na my baby we say we in TWI. Na my baby we say we in Lebanese. And yeah, now one person being on the Chinese, I was check one of my question and like imagine say like time I nipa be wasting for classroom compared to a dear nipa bechere. And we have grand school for 20 years, KG. You understand? It me sure say that is the reason why optimization T. So optimization T you find a common ground. And that is the reason why you be decided on a common language. Fine. Enti mo pese mo di local language ni child in school. Question obi busa I say enti betim the local language. She actually chemistry school. Try say we say am kind language barrier. Enya di go my breaking once. It takes time. A evolution. It is part of the culture. A cultural evolution. It should have happened a long time ago. Sometime now, emrofo almost started almost science career. Yeah, the yenya ko science pair. Yes, hey, yenya ko science pair. Hey. Because of say religion and science into Kwana or Mokon, as he support to religion. It's almost as if I say the DBI supported the wrong side of history. For a relationship by a president, foreign relationships are way. It's almost as if the DBI supported the wrong side of history. So why who share? Say, Satan Mamma almost started almost science career. And I can't see starting yet. Into me, sure say, Ibianka olden days no. Na obisu practice chemistry. Some time and any panel practice chemistry. Say no practicals are. Ebia obi here chemicals. Obi here arsenic. Obi here niobium. Obi here sodium chloride. Obi here nima bebree. Sanya man, was so tro to. So kwakoto a was so tro. No tro the amount, or tro the weight, or tro the concentration, or tro bibia. Okoto we are. That's what the befi the baby yet the practicals now. The findings will be I was what true. Like you would have why you can say empirical things, science, a body of knowledge about our physical world, which is acquired through systematic inquiry and considerable effort. Just would you listen to the definition. Knowledge you acquired, knowledge about our physical world, acquired through systematic, considerable. And Tiadina Nipaneyan a system a within a would details na nipa no all trotto and therefore only whom or they start bibi nasa wunim say nipa kra or no discover I say nipa don't pay you yenim ni din by say knowledge no atena wa ba be sin it is a meme and show say nka obi anye po amfa ne din anto wa senki ye ya nka by na hibe ya anye we didn't start kwa. Fundamental things now. You bet me use empirical analysis and knowledge. And they are establishing. We didn't do. But I say, you perceive a TWI and check chemistry. TWI and I practice chemistry, whether traditional chemistry and now say Western kind. TWI by the yebi. Say TWI no practice traditional chemistry. Me can't say herbalist or herbalist and chemistry. Chemistry no na negate mine and a herbalism. Think it me perfect herbalist and na ke ba binya chemistry boom. It's a version of chemistry and a herbalist no. Nessa chemistry chemicals no meaning if it helps me never. It's a chemistry and a herbalist. Na a herbalist. Ya am fa dwene nyansa anto besi na kwa still we are still making the same mistakes. So koto a herbal drug. Who say ni obesi anom ne po. Unim kwan kwa fast unim ade kura egum na onu kwa onim ni din so what you say enti wu baba ka chem say teacher ni no on practicing knowledge no teacher ni no de or sponge or absorb ni squeeze no de egu obi mu teacher ni na ono de ono oni first hand experience ono de onima ni narrative no a ono no de baba educate obi mu ono na nkwankwa yes research no classroom ana so what you say enti asem na omo ka no And I am happy. I am glad to say these women, they are interested in politics. But if this is a representative of the bright minds of our country, then I believe, say, question our journalists Nibusa say, and yeah, the tree actually chemistry. That's a very important. And I was answering Busa say, are they sure the things that they are doing? Do they think them true? Like, see, a sounding nice, a dead. Oh, yeah, the tree better idea. What you no say? You understand? Oh, yeah, best topic alarm say. A nice message. Yeah, be initiate state of emergency. What be you no say? Or by what me I no pu, what me I knew. What they are able for. We will see how that tool will be developed. Like we will see how the Galamsey story it will turn into it. Let's see, we are all here. Meaning him say, this is the same person. This is the same person that they voted for. Nothing about him has changed. But all of a sudden, he has changed. And now the Ghanaians too has changed with him. Now all of a sudden, he's a different person now. Like me, I do not know how we sort of like move on with our reality that it's like every day is a new day. Like me, I don't know how we do that genuinely, but we all can see how it has cost us. Thank you. Say the future starts now. In the olden days, say our future starts then. And como started you Sammy man started sunya research. So I say ehwehwe ne mu gu ho no maye ba beto aso ntin kenne senke obi ka chemical bi din a obi ka sodium hydroxide a unim ni twidin obi ka sodium chloride a unim ni twidin. So I say obi ka nicotinamide na dinucleotide phosphate kura ka unim ni twidin by and you don't know. So I say nti afini e ba be sadi na kwan be ne be fa so e be start sadi no a wo ka chem say teacher Nina and then where's Adi we see Namibo and Kofa Odomuko school, Odomuko University, Ekokochromo language, social sciences, Odomuko school Sakwayede, Ucha amount for research analysis, it was school side. Research instruments, our programs, our course now mountain, we anxiety. Intimiminim said this is the reason why I would amount for school. Now it has gotten to that point. You have to understand that, say, there have to be some certain condition and I say situation be academics and who be here. Like we have overlooked academics for way like for so long. Like it doesn't make sense. Academics in this country, they have overlooked way too much. Now almost no for so. And no more my drink can say and think was some no more creating narratives and for so. Papa ne woman or more my drink pane quack or boamrofo. Into both said that I sorry, yes, I do a beginning a year, I do a beginning a year. Beginning a year, no one yam in the country. It is a one hour government, and so who will send for now would train you, would do school, our school, and I would now see ye now. And can't be more so fast, so then you use them. And to me, said this is one of the most important and as a pivotal moments are we can go to academics, we can visit the academia institution. For so long, academia university now on. There be a amount for report. There be I can tell you this. Every day people write reports. There are topics amount for discussing there be and yeah, say omo some plagiarizing so if you imagine I do not care. They are producing the works. It's definitely universities they have answers. And it's a meaning the minimum say in the olden days. If a civilization reach the point that almost universities are say will be a problem na Google ni ho. Internet was not there. We need baby no co school, no co university, no co scholars in chain, or co templates in chain, no co buso questions. Near money answers. Into your one ne you Google. Into say yanzu see drew the pointer. Google na near man Google ne bruni near man go. Yeah, research biya, papa biya da Google. And this is a face problem that you could face Google say, how can we use tree to teach chemistry? Somebody has to do that and put it on the internet first. And that person has to be the people from the university because Omonaya training almost say thinking outside the box. And Tion say now we have come to the moment whereby did the government treat the education institution like with such kindness, with such a gentle approach, or did they help them to the point whereby they can answer their question or solve their problem that they have right now? Like, did they help them in that way? So did the government contribute to the education sector's success to the point whereby now they can act as public adventure? They can do this research and come up with this answer. Is the education sector, is the tertiary institutions, are they ready for this challenge? Can they do it? Would the government look to them? Who would the government look to? Obesan so akọ China as akọ language bosiana. Like enti den obey. Now we are yet to see the progress of this development. So I want us to continue this video. And thank you for allowing me for my rant. I wanted to do an intro before our honorable ladies see what they want to say.
Nation, we must quickly switch our mindset to solutions offering rather than pointing out all the ways in which an idea cannot work.
Let's deal with briefly on the language or instruction in school.
How can you move ahead with an idea without solving the question? Like I said I'm happy that these people they want to get involved, but sending embassy praise you at the same time when they make a mistake, I have to say, like, you cannot do something if they are like we have pros and cons. The cons, you have to solve them. Like when to me, like I say, you are going to implement a plan. You have people that you are going to maybe do some mission with. And in that plan, maybe I acquire bank biska. In that plan, no, one person. That is never a good plan. like that is never a good plan. If somebody dies in the plan, that is never a good plan. So if you are implementing a plan, say your challenges you cannot answer, then that means you are not ready for that yet. So I don't want them to dismiss this reporter's question that he or she asked. It's a very important question. They are trying to get involved in politics, so we are praising them into. No, I beg you. Like me, I've done my praising. I've done the praising part, but now if they say something that isn't like right or doesn't deserve to be said, I think I deserve to criticize them on that too. So let's continue.
And I've seen people try to distort the message. The internal logic of that message is that if you are a teacher in a school made up of learners that predominantly speak a certain language, their local language, and so if you are a teacher in Wa, the understanding is that perhaps you either speak Wali or Sisala, depending on the location of the school and even the language of your teacher. You see, when there's a policy, there's an application of that policy. And it is those at the point that are able to implement that policy that can obey that policy. So it's illogical to say that, how about teachers who don't speak the language? If you are a teacher that you find yourself in the classroom that you don't speak the predominant language, you will have to teach in English. That is the practicality of it. Until such time as GES is able to deploy teachers that speak. In Accra here, there is a shortage of Dangbe teachers. They know it. So there are schools in Ga land here in Accra that teach Tree as the local language because we don't even have enough Ga teachers. So obviously this policy to use the mother tongue of the students will not apply. In urban centers where the students would come from various parts of the country and would probably speak various, languages. And even the worrying trend now is that the young people today are not learning their mother tongue. It is really like English. In those particular situations, the predominant language that is understood by all is what will be the primary language of instruction. Now, a teacher in their training is taught to look out for the peculiarities of the learners in their classroom. So, for instance, if I know that you speak Tree, and I can speak Tree as a teacher, and I'm explaining a concept that you don't understand, it is the teacher's duty to now communicate in the language that the child understands, that the teacher also understands, to break down the concepts. Because even though classroom sizes may be large, teaching is supposed to be individualistic. Even though you stand and teach a subject, you must be interested in the learning journeys of each student in your class, as much as is humanly possible. So when you go to some communities, it is not a problem. The teacher speaks the local language, and the majority, if not all, of the learners in that classroom also speak the local language. In that case, whereas you would teach in English, you would explain concepts also in the local language. So let's not distort good intentioned policies. He gave an example of how a teacher was using English to teach, and the child said, "Teacher Mpacho katri kakrana menti asie." The child didn't even need to have said that. Because, as I said earlier, it is a determined fact that a child will learn quicker in the mother tongue than he would if you introduce a foreign language too quickly to the child. And that's why, because even in homes now, we are not speaking our local languages to the children, they are now losing out on even their local language.
You know that English teaching profession is one of the highest or the most sought after in China.
Yes,
that's because they don't use English language to teach.
So let me tell you, a lot of their older leaders who studied in Chinese still do not speak English.
Well,
where
that's
they have
a lie.
taken their country to.
That is a lie. Hey, those people, they learn English. Master, the English, it will take you far. Learn it. What these people are saying, do they know the kind of a Jimo Omodema teachers one day? And how exactly is that achievable? Like, how would they teach like a teacher who is going to teach chemistry to, let's say, a school in Kumasi? Like, how? Because the teacher is going to teach what they were taught. And if they taught the teacher chemistry in English, how would the teacher go and teach the chemistry in tree? Like the American one, that it takes us back. So the solution isn't this. It's not the teachers who. It is our research facilities. Universities now more. They have to come up with a way. They have to rediscover. They have to reinvent. What's the pay? You standardize it and you're running down for. It's not this simple. And you had a what's start free. And you man, our education system and everything that we have been doing right now, we have been doing them for a very long time. On said diversity, equity, inclusion. You see the progressiveness of the world. And you man, make a tree profit. School year or more can want some system or more use year or more condemn CCA. And no Biana me firm, and no Biana me firm, I'm the co school, I'm the co university, I'm a little say, set up a master setting up by 100 say, very difficult. Very normally it should be very expensive. But me and Kasana Made, my drink, and my other kid to have been the say, very simple. Mimi name the reason why these people want to condemn this kind of education. A producer a man for or more good musicians, a man for more travel outside the country, achieve great things. Mimi name the reason why these people they are condemning the education. It's the only person be blaming and Kolam. In Kolam, the money fine. And no, aside the point. And now, Omo can say, Yenusu ye local language and franchise. Me, I agree 100%. 100%. But see, you see a local language at the child here. That would suggest say, we locally, we have to make discoveries. Like any man I discovered that won't mean some discover. And there's no translation for sodium chloride in any language. Language being no normal translate sodium like AB new view. Oko China, chlorine, baby could be a chlorine, because I'm no discover a Greek omokasano. The Latin is a Greek omokasano. And this also person discover Bibia. Opana, no one discover. Now the local name Atus. But when it comes to translations, that is a different thing. And America say, then they should go to the university because I want a language expert for the social sciences for no. So omo person omo translate a particular chemistry textbook. Ediko English. Oko fa omo a no apɛ omo with our local English tree speakers here omo quadrim from omo ne ohim otumfo te ahemfie ho no wokɔpɛ omo a na onu omo atenase sɛ ye ne ntimi nyɛ saa experiment no ɛno yɛ one ɛna sɛ ye ne ntimi establish a kind of knowledge and learning from the beginning of ye nananom penso a mesi ne ntimi am build upon a wodi obi aye ne aka ne sɛ ye nkyire mu na yɛ kasɛm ɛno no wontimi mfa saa adwuma ne nsan kɔto teacher ni so ɛwɔ so obi yɛ na obi a wode ma teachers for no mo sisi awde mo nyɛ omo adwuma na mo nsan fan training new teachers so te ase wontimi expect teachers for no mo sisi ase omo nyɛ saa adwuma no because this it will also require another form of a training also training pana enema wonim nyina also sa pepa ni na training nyina afofo it's not really that simple say you omo to na omo kan and as omo ka so omo yes adu ya enye nne ne ba be yes adu because ni e be di kwa enye nyai kasa na he be kan ebe ye dey na ma like nyo kan me ti ase ne me so be kan wo ti ase oh fada de we beto a faibo we beto a oh faka we kosi a you say o to ade we yes 50 enye no ano enti language enye no ano ye use that am the fact say mo pe say yemfa ye language ensua obi foforo na disua yemfa ye language ensua broni niema broni na dwen like it won't work like that enye adwuma simple sa south ase say ebeye adwuma kwa we have to be in it like there have to be our sacrifice in it e was say yenso see bri ye mojani na yenso see ye enema na omo ye omo discoveries omo research omo disua their commitment their sacrifice and also say was yenso ye bi and san ye tinya is adini bi but it won't be this simple say ya mo kasa akola bi aka chen teacher ni say ne work an onti ase nti won fan kotwi man na teacher ni no aka say debi e bia na teacher ni no English no or check English language na or chew and what card you English language your English language ability depends on your understanding of the English language. Na nipa no card na you are supposed to decipher and figure out the understanding in your head. Online say ma say. So Jeff said that what's the point of the education? And he said if this is the contest that move free here, then I do not support their claim. But and I'm kind. I have to praise them. These the women of politics. They are doing excellent. Let's continue to watch them.
So now a lot of the English is becoming a subject that is taught. Yeah. But even if you went to China for an undergrad or a postgrad or a PhD, you are expected to learn Chinese as a subject course. And you must pass it to graduate, as some of the students shared with us. So please, it is a good intended policy. Okay. And it is for the...
Government policy, way policy. It depends on government, the policy about and the what pen. Government the policy after 20, after 10, after 15 years, Ubon Sena started the Nehemiah Basa policy way, but no more government policy, no more TSSA. Some TSSA government policy just means promise, right? It's like Ubia promise one day. Nanipa no promise one day, no one for materials number. Quarter kwaso amount to man and to money, you are what yet. I mean, policy is just policy. Where is the provision for it? Where is the structure or physical evidence that will support this policy? Where is the initiative? And then I'm kind normally in a traditional sense. If you nyansam, yanko obi a wajin honum, enkonko jinyansa. In a traditional sense, if you nyansam, yanko obi a woni nyansa nchen, obi a wajin nchen, enkonko jinyansa. Asema nkofo yi kan, university for adwuma. A expert for adwuma omo quadrim na ye omo adwuma enti wo ntimi nsan so expecting kwala na omo school any teachers for no omo kwakọ chen kwala na de ne say omo na omo konkon for sa policy this should not even be a policy. This is common sense. Now as a country and multiple country shouldn't you develop your language? Shouldn't you use your language? And government then konkon your home policy answer. But you can see say we have driven ourselves me dey be am account. Me all the time, you people are trying to make this political. You people are trying to shift this onto the government. Although it is the government for say or trying to solve problems all the time instead of just providing opportunities. Like a government in the force said there be a person or winning the affection of the people. Like any man, we no person here. Really, why to say my boss Adam in the wage when Mr. Nabil. Like any man who here ball to manager muau. Now the neighbor like any man first would be so general want to cry. No person didn't who baby shame be. Inti government in the sun of Quaco is here. I do idea also doing Debbie. But for some reason watching. Me know me didn't know why yes. Into Ujin wa or yes, so that people will vote for him. But one say at the end of the day, so you know Jahokwa, a babe pasa. No way, no, when my DBS as Ukumi. A banasa development and as a natural development, okay, without any government intervention. The government nearby, yes, our policy no pay a babe saying. Let's take Galamsey, baby. Almost large scale miners in Kwana, 82 Galamsey. And the car constitution will say, legalize small scale mining. There's no such thing as small scale mining. A large scale miners, mining company, almost starting Musa. And we are Juma, we are Faswa, Ubabe Cassia, and Ubabe big scale miners. A common sense chronologically. And the car constitution will say, legalize small scale miners. And now, a creative faculty. In a creative faculty, it has to be occupied. In the amount for share. So these people have become small scale miners, like permanently. So omu grow grass, omu babe kesiye, same large scale miners grass. Still now they are small scale miners in name because or any idea there almost no. So LLC was a thing, liability company, something like I don't know. We don't need a business terms for it, but say any coban has happened, they remain small scale mining forever. And now Kwakofa Sato we see abe. Now, some policy now, include DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, difference in people, equality reason, in TFI and Kaho. Listen to this. Difference in people for equality reason, feelings in TFI and Kaho. So, diversity, equity, inclusion. And Tinipano because of merit too. And Tinipano said, so go control English language test. Not so failure. Ni akachira was say because of say ya mfa ni kuro mukasa anche ni English nti because na wo be the twi ache English me pawache wo be dan the twi ache English amu bi akwa ko exams pass enti mo dem so ya me dey be say government policy no say I have to say some kind of a nyom title bi dem tribu government policy ni a role ya to hono wo be twene ho awon ti ase bibia government policy. Why is this traditional thinking? If he answers away, it will mind to us.
GES to see how it implements this policy. Mm-hmm. Look, in Finland, a teacher stays in the classroom, so the students have the same classroom teacher for at least 6 years. You cannot be a basic school teacher without high qualification. And that's how their learning outcomes is what they are. We have lots of lessons from other UNICEF. All these things are data-backed programs and policies and encouraged so that we can catch up with the early grade math and, English assessment. Because if a child is not able to understand the concepts, it becomes difficult for them. So nobody is saying that replace English with local language. That's but instruct also your subject in local language. Especially
but they do that.
The students you are teaching are challenged.
Okay. So let me read this from
when we say that a student is challenged, a student is challenged means any man I or class onim and yes be on onim in the teacher in eduman say. In the teacher in everyone say, Obama students are why challenged, are unchallenged. And this is how we measure teachers. This is how we measure a teacher's performance with their student. So this is not a reflection of the child's character. And I say, Nipa na educating no, educate them. Because Nipa no uja na our child. Conditions now and no be near the channel. So one let me akwa qualify as a teacher. Ba be che what they are. You understand? Me I am for the motion say you're trying to evolve a local language because I think our local language, especially Twi, it has a lot of potential. I am trying to do a lot of writings. And by the way, I write sometimes. If you're interested in some of the things I write, I can send some to you. Just a comment and I'll probably send you one of my best work for you to check out. If you are interested, I have a lot of things I write, mostly about the things I talk about. I'm just trying to promote common sense. That's what I'm trying to do. Meaning say, the more you apply common sense to your daily life, the more stress-free your daily life will be. and the more peaceful your lives will be, the more ahofel you become. So remember that that's what I know, that's what I think, that is what I practice, that's my philosophy I live by. So I have things I write. So if you're interested in read them, I'll be more than happy to share them with you. So let's continue.
Basic, it's from kindergarten, early grade, kindergarten to nursery to kindergarten. By the time they get to lower primary, if we're doing things right, they should be able to. Because now we do have a problem of reading and literature generally at the university, at secondary schools. Some cannot even drink any grammatically correct.
Charlie. Who will say we have people in the university who do not know how to speak the English language? It is so therefore, the cause of this problem is language. Ghana is an interesting place. Look, our education is structured that, the system is structured that it's not teaching people, it is passing people through exams. We go to school, we just write exams. Whether or not you understand, it doesn't matter. You say what you passing exams. Yeah, yes, it's me put their building business. I'm on for remedial schools. Hey, North Deck, na den, Samba be seen there. And Tinipano, Busan say, you go school now, your choice exams. What is the point of the examination? And Tinipano, you change English since class 1, JHS, SHS, or you could university. Meaning our exams. The point of examination is enka so obi nima na se nipa kwa no so wantimi nya ya the best stop no ne ya ye hwehwemu kakra ye hu ba bia wanya ade na ya boa no na nka watimi perfect so that the person can continue. The meaning said that's the reason why you repeat amount for. But if the person has been able to pass through the system, that means that one kasa momo system na mo build here e hu ne se nipa kwa no ya de wa pen wo ya ade na fe nipa no could do the highest point of the education level. Na nipa ni timi nka brofo a wo say ha be ka chem say nipa na nya ade a language a wo de cha ade e na enye na mo hwe sa kind of common sense yankofo so go use ya like ye twene ho ayete ase ana me go school me say me am metia no say I know how I am. Me I like doing things different. Send you be as if as ya na niam no me try me ye bia enya me de. So I just want to do things different. And the dema ba be we here. You go school. There was some instances beyond my team am question. Ama obia solution we use an answer formula na we use wo ho by me no nya me fe it me kwa go for different formula na me dey am media. Can you imagine say TA and as a teacher assistant betimi mark test no ho no waka chere me say although matwa wo answer na right to but send you obia use here no it could be say variables na psesan keke e bia formula na a plus b is equal to c. And I mean, x plus y is equal to z. It could be the variables I'm here, then I'm changing the cake. But because of anything, so who decided say over structure education system in such a way say what the merit who here when there results in quantity here there, and you'll be amount for more achieving results now. Definitely, you get people who achieve the results for you. Say a bit cheat, you have a bit Cheska, and idea how much teachers are not here for no money at Dania passing. Definitely they will do for you. You produce experts. Experts are omunimshi omutrebu. And that is the reason why some government institution be or employees employees or home where money be about things are falling apart. If this is what the government wants. That's a government in Nsaka. Why would this same government in Nsaka fetch? Should you share would you share yes? Say a timia ko school. Then you panet in your school, what timia exams class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. JHS 1, 2, 3. SHS 1, 2, 3. Asako University 4 years asaka say no. Boss, then you went to me camp of war. Now who buy our catcher me say the problem ning ni pano. Problem near language na the chain panadi. Meanwhile, once swam and I in such a way say in Nipan whether or not so Nima dear and answer or yard or class and we here ni here so pass exams. Until automatically so being pass exams pay or yard see will be the whole class. And I'm more establishes our narrative. And then rule your country in sa. And I'm for the wahwa. I'm for niachi. People are celebrating their children. And yet they say your my trim, your mom trim your mother, and your pro. To me, behave weirdly be. All because of saying Nipan, yes, were a shark and tea. You understand? Say yes, a son could always say national science and math quiz. So that's all more yes, and man as a parrot in a and I present question no answer, I present question no answer no. Like a yamufana. So this is the combination of our education. Now who we are, no one's about to catch me say. You understand? Some are working into the woman twice.
Sentence. So that is problematic. And it speaks to the quality of our teaching, and teaching materials, right from the basic level. So please.
I want to read this one. Lauren Weke, good morning to you. But he says that, greetings, Annie, the issue of low cuts is a historical fact. The message was not just about skin color. It was about making sure that any and everything everything aid breaking the spirit and destroy the self-worth of self-esteem of the colonized. But this is true both with the European and Arab colonizations. So the policy is clear and has to be followed, but the spirit behind it has to be investigated. That's his point. And I think I agree with that. Samuel Brian says that, Annie, as a country, we measure in the minds.
So, Omaka language in Asemeri, Omatu, look at. I think it was in the news, SHS girl be. But between you school no Omaka so when any issues today. Maybe share a single video because it's not even necessary. Like these things, they are not even out for debate. And so what, man? Like we have important things going on right now. And I don't understand why people want to divert their attention to something so unnecessary. Like in Kola, what we say. Like I'm not insulting anybody as such. But when they look at how important this topic is, wait me a movie to look at it here, just like that. Oh, come on.
Even my daughters, who wear their natural locks, were met with unnecessary attitudes at their new schools. Samuel Brian Boabing is the one that is. I don't know. We have a certain perception about locks, about the natural hair,
certain style of
and
hair.
That is also what we have to try and.
I have natural hair.
Yeah. We need to get used to that, and I think for me that has been.
No, it's not even about the natural hair.
My campaign point
and all those.
That has been my campaign. My campaign point. As a Pan-Africanist. Let's love that.
That can be his campaign point, like Ahunidino. Oh, Massa, come on. And you say, may like bushy hair and I say Afro Kusku, like you won't mean you can't tidy it. To say, if you are in your house, there's a reason why we finance our dress will be on your shit. So school won't mean like it will become a lot of job for you. One, work school, you have left home to an environment that you never been there before. You are there to educate yourself. So you are going to balance your social life. You are going to balance your academic life. You are going to balance your religious life. You are going to balance your financial life. You are going to balance all sorts of life. And mind you, this is like a step in the beginning of your life. You are starting your life. So why would you complicate things with all this? And in a way, this one is one. I can say, full bar for entire white bra because atade white a plain. And you wouldn't have to worry about and atade be na obeshe or like. But at the same time, you also be neat because atade white they say if you be able to say neat. And being conscious about yourself, at the same time they're taking over, they'll be like taking care of your wardrobe issue too. And maybe a short said that's why I'm saying all these things that have been set in place. It's like it has been working since the data baby seen there. I feel you see a year dream of you. So it's here. Adenya. media minim, yes, racism, yes, skin color, yes, this and that, yes, those and this, yes, feelings, yes, by nobody is really considering the logic and the common sense anymore. It's like now, almost all my progressed. Meaning, I do not know the point at which they started from to which upon which they call progress now. Meaning, baby move free by. I do not know the first development and the first foundation upon which they are progressing themselves from. The minimum, I don't know what happened. The minimum, I say, you Ghana and say, yeah, try say, you know, my life say easy. Anybody wants to know politicians or start with this guy. Anybody wants to know you should buy start here, but anybody wants to know Christianity, I say you should buy passa. Anybody who say upon you cry, yeah. So only because you bet me yeah, you the see nobody will see it, you know. I say yeah, people are pretending all the time. Like it's as if I say if you say we do not account for our own actions, it beats me back cause trouble and I beats me a creative problem. Me and find some roof excuse be media me patron person individual no say women are into politics. It's exciting that they are exchanging ideas, but I want to see like I don't know what I want to see. I just want to see honesty for once. Because you cannot sit there and say that you discredit the Ghana education system for producing you. Maybe I'm sure you are proud of your life. It's Ghana education, yes, I will say. So why don't you want the education system to produce the same thing for someone else? Why don't you want that person to receive the same kind of training? And the thing now person consider any feelings. Like who made the person on authority of fashion? And I say activism. Akola kitwan dead wonim. Enti mo ba beti akola no ni feelings na ma forgetting and the tradition and as I say. Right now I'm not saying it's whether or not say I'm out for edi omutiri and I say direct echo school and I say me I'm not here to say anything about it. But what I'm saying is your system up to now. And to say if the system is somehow leaky, it doesn't necessarily mean say young to me. I'm a conservationist, I'm a minimalist. Me feel like kakrana I'm one. Meet me at the fertilizer kuso I'm an baby pre. Me sanam tea. Kitwe bi na ekuta me no meet me am manage na baby pre. Nti me so me hope say as a country on so friend who Ghana our person so or representing who as the black star of Africa. I think so go back to the fundamental Ephesians and also everyone can instead of say the BIA per se so we want to progress to something like I don't understand. So this is the Anti-Partisan and thank you for tuning in with me. See you on the next one.